So today we have Mr. Paul Chambers. I always like to say Mr. or Mrs. Growing up in the South and growing up in the 90s in the South, that was like the proper way to like greet people. But out here in California and nowadays it just like freaks people out. And I'm the type of person, I love the shock factor. I love a good shock factor, but I like to do it where it's like, okay, well, why does that bother me? I like to make people think. But we have Mr. Paul Chambers. Tell us a little bit about yourself and the name of your podcast as well.
Yeah, well, like you said, Paul Chambers, one half of the Thundercats. Me and my homie man, we host the Welcome to Family podcast. You can pretty much get it anywhere where you can stream, and also on YouTube. And soon to be author. Well, currently writing my first novel too.
There
So
you go.
hopefully that's
Awesome.
coming soon too.
How's that coming along? What is your writing
Uh,
process like?
Oh, it's just all over the place. I mostly just try not to force it.
Yeah.
Just try to find that inspiration or whatever it hits me.
Okay.
I just let my brain
There you
go.
go.
And yeah,
Yep, that's wonderful. If you ever need somebody to edit it, give me a call.
we'll
I'll
do.
do whatever I can do. Because my book
We'll
is
do.
supposed to be out. My book is called, this title is amazing. Look like a trophy wife, but fuck like a side bitch. And that
I
should be
remember you
out.
telling me that.
Yeah, it should be out on the 5th of October. I've already have it halfway written. I'm the type of person like I love a good deadline. So it stresses me out, but I love stress. Like I live for a good stress. Talking about stress, guys, I'm in a really bad mood, and this is me in a bad mood. I'm not gonna be like, you know, gloomy or whatever. But the reason why I think that I'm really in a bad mood is because um, the whole Chadwick Boseman, his death. And when I found out, I really couldn't have emotions about it because it hit really close to home. And the reason why it hit close to home is because my late uncle passed away from colon cancer at the age of 40. I wear his chain. I've been wearing it since I was like a little, I think it was like 10 or 12, but it could have been like 7 or 8 because I was 7 or 8 when he passed away. And I have like a special connection with him. My parents don't even know this. So, mom, if you're listening to this, you're going to hear this for the first time. Um, I used to talk to him a lot when I was younger. And I just had a special connection with him. And I do a lot in the oncology field in my marketing company because of him. I used to, before COVID, throw probably like 5 to 6 charity events a year and raise tens of thousands of dollars for cancer or whatever. So, I mean, my thing, and please interject whenever you feel you want to. But my thing with him is that I'm just like, it's sad. It's really sad. But I'm also so proud of him, and he's such an example
Most definitely.
because he did not, wallow in. And he probably had his days. That's
Mm,
whatever. But he didn't wallow in his misery. You know what he did to me in my vision, and I don't know anything about this man. I don't know where he was born. I know his age because of what happened. Everything coming out. But to me, he took this as a driving mechanism to be the best that he could be and to leave a mark on this world. And I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of him for that. But it's just like, how did that make you feel though, finding out? I think it was
uh,
Saturday. Saturday.
uh, it was rough because it was just so unexpected. Yeah, if it was something that we had heard about beforehand that he was dealing with it, then we maybe could have prepared ourselves for it a little bit better at least.
Yeah.
But because we didn't know anything about, I mean, obviously there was the speculation. I think maybe a year or two when those pictures came out and it was a little bit skinnier, and people were wondering if maybe it was for a movie. Uh, but it was just real unexpected, and
Yeah.
and like you said, he could have just wallowed in it, and like you said, I'm sure he probably had his days where maybe he didn't feel like getting up and going to work and
Yeah.
trying to entertain us
Hmm.
essentially, but that was just a testament to how strong of a man he really was to sit. I think in these 4 years, I think he did like 9 or 10 movies during this time. So it was just, it just really shows how strong and how dedicated he was. And like I said, I'm proud of him as well because, yeah, if he did have to go and be called home like he was, he at least was able to do it, doing the things that he loved doing, and that was entertaining us. Yeah.
And I also want to just notate to everybody, people are like, well, why didn't you say something? Or if you have a family member that doesn't say something, we all deal with things differently. And I understand him not saying anything because I'm not comparing anything that I've been through, but I've been through very traumatic things in my life. And the next day I'm up doing something. I understand not wanting people's sympathy and empathy, and then to walk around like, okay, well, I'm a special person or a special case because of things that I'm going through or illness that I have or something like that. So however anyone deals with their illness or something tragic that happens, allow them to deal with it the way that they mentally can handle it. Don't try to impose like, why didn't he tell me? Why didn't she tell me this? Why didn't, my family member didn't tell me? Because they probably couldn't handle it. And they're handling it the best way. And then cancer is just like being around so many people, and there's cancer, not to get too personal, has affected a lot of members of my family. My family is small because of it. And ovarian, breast, colon, lung. I can keep on going, and I don't want to, so I'm gonna stop. But just let people, do what they need to do and stop and just be understanding. Honestly, compassion is great. Compassion is really great. So yeah, that kind of hit me hard, and I really couldn't be emotional about it because I was actually with my grandparents, and to this day they still, mourn my uncle. We have a whole thing this month because of his birthday that we're doing at the gravesite. I'm not from California, but my family is. When they moved from France, they were here, whatever. So he's buried in California, so we're gonna do a whole thing. But yeah, so that was sad. But like I was saying, it still affects him to this day to have to bury a child, So yeah, but so I'm excited to have you just switch gears on because we're going to talk about certain things that I know we can talk about because you're like me. You're very open, and you like to teach, like me. You like to teach. So my topic is, I have a question for you. Do you like edible arrangements? Before you answer that, I'm talking about eating pussy. And before we even go further into this, I think it's hilarious that people suck dick, eat pussy, lick assholes, but if I say something like this, oh my God. But you guys are the ones that are doing it. So let's talk about it. You don't want to talk about it?
Let's talk about it.
Anna Lefebvre is going to talk about it. But do you like edible arrangements?
We'll talk about it.
What do you like edible arrangements?
I do.
Okay.
Obviously, not everyone gets that treatment because that's something that's more special.
Yeah.
But I do. I have no problem doing it. I take pride in doing it, to be honest.
And I want you to give people tips on how to do it. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to give you tips on sucking dick. Sorry, Mom.
Well, the biggest tip I have really is to know that every woman is different. Mm-hmm. So don't be afraid to ask her, what she likes, what she doesn't like. If you're trying something on her, ask her how she feels about it. If she wants you to do or a certain way of how she wants to do it.
By trying, are you talking about like tongue action? Are you talking about toys?
Whatever you're trying to do to try to please her.
Okay.
Me, I've never actually used toys when giving a girl head before. Okay. So if that's something that she's into, then you try to experience that. But that's the biggest piece of advice I have is that every woman is different. What works for one woman, then you go to the next relationship and try to do the same thing. She may not be into that.
Yeah.
So you got to understand that not every woman is the same.
Yeah. And sometimes our mental too plays, in our head. Because I don't let this happen. Like, I have to actually like you to let you go down on me. Like that's not going to happen just to every random Joe, whatever. Like, I don't know how I just made myself sound, but I don't really care. At the same time, I don't care. But anyhow,
not supposed to.
Yeah, my thing too though is like, take your time. Just like you don't want fast head, if you're getting slobbed on your nub, you don't want it like we don't want it to seem like it's a chore. Like, because if you do it fast, because all of a sudden like you're hard and you want a nut, I can sense that, and it's going to stress me out, and I'm not going to enjoy it. So my tip is to take your time. There's a lot of parts of the vagina, like, explore all of it, because some of us come a different kind of way. Some of us are fast, some of us are slow. So take your time. And then my tips with sucking. I don't even want to give you that. I don't.
No, we're here now. We're here now.
Let me be the head doctor. No, I'm just kidding. The goat. I don't know. Whatever.
The goat throat. I know what you mean.
Take your time. Do not, and correct me if I'm wrong, but do not use both hands. Use one hand, both hands. Sometimes don't use hands. Change it up. But if you are going to use hands, make sure that the dick is wet, because the friction does not feel good at all. Also, there's a whole dick there, so let's appreciate the whole entire thing, not just the tip, right? But you don't have to do it the whole entire time. And one of the things that I have done is I made myself desensitized in my throat. And you can do, and I'm not saying this is approved by a medical bill. Do not go to the hospital like, well, Anna Lefebvre, no. But what you can do is stick a toothbrush down there, and what happens is your gag reflex gets like, they become softer. It might not be.
I saw that meme you posted on Instagram. I saw that. It just
that one may have been true. Also, so a tip to make yourself a little less sensitive right there is to put like a toothbrush in your throat. Just hold it there for a second, but be careful, because this is not medically approved. I do not have an MD or PhD or any of those kind of credentials to tell you, and it's on you. Another tip is to practice on a banana. I know, like when we were kids, like we do weird shit. But as a grown-ass woman, I still practice on a banana, because I have to make sure that my skills are still good. So, also, I should not plug them, but I will plug them. I'm going to change lives right here. A wet mouth. Now, do you like spitting? Yeah?
I'm not opposed to it. Yeah.
Not opposed to it? Okay. I feel like when you're in the moment, like, spitting is cool, but like just to come out there and start spitting on something is just like, okay. So my tip with this, there's lozenges in the store. I can't remember the name of it, and I'm not going to plug them because I'm not getting paid for them. But they are fresh breath, because make sure your breath is fresh. That's disgusting. Okay. Make sure your breath is fresh. And they keep your mouth wet. So I put those in my mouth, and then I also like get the saliva juices going before I go down on someone, because you always want to have that moisture. So think of how a vagina is going to feel. That's kind of how you want your mouth to be, feel. They like a wet pussy, they like a wet mouth as well. So appreciate the whole entire dick, the whole thing. If you can't put all in your mouth, that's fine. Work on it if you like this person. I also do ask, I don't just usually do it just like randomly, but I do ask about balls. So I ask like, are you comfortable? But I do it like not in a way where it's like technical and it's like, okay, sir, can I suck your balls? Which one do you want, the left or the right one? This is on record.
Oh yeah.
Hello everyone.
We here.
I'm innocent. I've been married. I was married for 11 years. Okay, so obviously I was doing something right.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah. So I asked them like, can I, And then the people that like their balls sucked, whatever you want to call it, licked, they if they like it, they usually really like it, and it's really important to them in the whole process. Also, another thing that I did, I had stopped my entire life because I was like, you know what, I am not giving good head. I did this some years ago. I studied the anatomy of a penis. So I know where like the nerve endings are. So the nerve endings is a very important part to do tongue play. So I challenge anyone that wants to suck a dick well to go look at that because that will change their life a lot.
I believe you.
Um, yeah,
I definitely believe
you have any other
because
suggestions? Some tips? Give me some more tips. I always want to be better.
uh, damn, I feel like for the most part you covered it. As far as for me, I mean, just being patient is the
Yeah.
biggest thing. Because to speak on a little bit about what you said about how you felt like you sucked at giving head a while back.
Mm-hmm.
That is actually one thing I've learned is that say if you have about 10 women, probably 8 of them do not know how to give good head.
Yeah.
Like and I don't know how it is obviously for men on your end, but I assume it's probably the same way because a lot of men have a big ego problem. They don't want to ask, can't tell them nothing. So that's another big thing, fellas. Check your ego at the door.
like this is
it should be about
no
her
fucks given.
And pleasing her. There's nothing wrong with asking her, what she likes. Like don't be afraid to ask her.
It doesn't have to be.
Never understood that.
It could be like, it doesn't have to be like a major thing like, do you like this? Check it off on the list. No, it doesn't have to be like that. And I'm astonished how selfish people are in the bedroom. The stories that people tell me, because honestly, like since it came out that I'm, a relationship coach and I talk about sex, I get phone calls on a daily basis from my friends, from a friend of a friend or whatever, asking me questions about sex, asking me questions about relationship every day on G, every day. And I was talking to someone today and the person was like, I can't believe how selfish people are in the bedroom. I'm just like, they really are. They get stuck in this mode and that's all they're going to do. Like I understand if you mentally can't do it and you have mental things that you just can't give head. Either way, I understand that. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is somebody's like, I'm just not going to do it. And I can't believe women are like that. Like, I'm just not going to give head. Okay. I understand if it's like a one night stand and you can still get herpes in the mouth, from doing that.
Yeah.
But, what if a woman wanted to give you head and she's like, no, you got to put a condom on? What are your thoughts on that?
I'd be like, what the fuck is the point? Like, what is the point of that? I never understood that at all.
Yeah, that's just no, don't do that then. Let's just skip that part. Let's go straight.
I'm like, if it's to the point where you feel like I need to put a condom on for you to give me head, then that means we're not cool enough to the fact where I even want you to give me head. Yeah. So I'm probably not even gonna want you to do it anyway.
Yeah. If I do not know you and it's our first time, I'm not giving you head. I'm not going to do it just for the reason of catching something. Yeah. So, and that's the reason why. So it has nothing to do with anything else but that reason. Like I had an ex, if I stopped seeing him a little bit too long, the jealous part of the back of my head's like, what the fuck were you doing? I would have given him head. I was like, no, your dick has to be sanctified by my pussy for me to give you head.
It sound like he got to dip it in some damn holy water.
Holy water, yes, you are correct. No, but that's how I would treat him. It's been 2 weeks. I don't know what the fuck you were doing. Not jack shit. Gemini jealousy, it'll come out. It's funny because I'm only jealous with certain people. Certain people I'll never be jealous of. And then other people, they make me fucking crazy. And I'm just like, nope.
Yeah, but that's typically because it's got to be because he's putting it down right if you get jealous. nobody's getting jealous over it. Some whack chorizo.
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess. I don't know.
I mean, at least I would hope not.
Yeah. But the thing too, like even with the book that I'm writing, whatever, I'm talking about this. The selfishness in the bedroom needs to stop. Like it's just like, you know, sex is an act, a beautiful act, and it can get redundant after a while. And if you want to keep on doing it the same way, I mean, unless you guys are happy with that, okay, more power to you. But you're going to need to lose any kind of ambition. Am I saying it right? Inhibition. Am I saying? Yeah. When you get there, like in the bedroom, and you need to sometimes step out of your comfort zone and appease your partner and do the things that they want to do. So like not giving head for no reason is just like unacceptable. And also women don't understand about how much of a power play giving head is. It really freaking is. Giving a guy, a man, head and having him like succumb to me, that's just like amazing feeling, like making this person happy. Honestly, like I'm a giver, so I love to make my partner happy. And if I can see my partner is super happy because of something I did and I did right and according to their body, that's just like everything to me. So
same here.
Yeah,
I'm the exact same way, because you do have those guys that for whatever reason they go to fuck, they get their nut and they're done. They don't care about it.
Yeah.
If you were satisfied, if you guys just, I would never understand it.
I don't understand.
Because for me, it goes back to the giving head aspect. If I'm comfortable and cool enough with you to give you head, I love the fact that I've got you basically just, about to have a damn seizure, and I ain't even actually put dick on you yet. I love that. I love that feeling. I'm like, yeah, you done forgot all about the dick. Yeah. I'm like, you done had an out-of-body experience already, and I ain't even put dick on.
Hey, baby, just
it's
wait.
It's going to be on top.
Just wait. About to own your ass. Or liked.
Yeah, you think it's a game.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a game.
That's another reason why I'm in a bad mood, too, though. And, so, like, this is a good day for me to be on the podcast because I have no fucks giving right now. Not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 of my exes contacted me last week. I'm single, so if my ex want to contact me, that's fine. Like, I really don't have problems with people. And the way that I try to leave relationships is like on a good accord. Like, why would you be nasty? Like, I don't want to go back to years of my life or moments of my life I can't talk about because that person was in it. So I have good relationships actually with some of my exes. Some of my exes I've known most of my life. So like, I'm not going to end that friendship unless like I was like with somebody super important and they just like uncomfortable with it. Then I'd be like, okay, well, then I would have to revisit the situation. But what do you feel about that? Like being friends with your exes?
I don't have a problem with it as long as there's a clear, boundary of what it is. Because I've been in that situation where you're in that gray area, where where it's defined that y'all two are not actually together, but you're still doing shit like you are together.
Yeah. That
is like one of the most toxic situations I've ever been in my life. So as long as it's established, I personally don't have a problem with it. If you're in a new relationship, then you have to see where that new person's insecurity level might be. If you're still friends with your ex.
I understand that. I understand
and that's obviously a conversation that you two need to have because because if you're in that scenario, you guys have to really have that conversation.
You do.
Because obviously with an ex, I know with me, when it comes to relationships, with every ex I have, it's been something that was extremely serious, like serious feelings there. So, it's like, are those feelings still there, or is this somebody that I need to worry about? Because if so, I don't want to go down this road with you if it's something I gotta keep on. So.
So some of them are friends, and some of them are just acquaintances. Some of them are, you know, they're good friends. You know, like I said, I've known them for most of my life. Like I've known them longer than whatever. But my stupid brain went back to this place because I did something. I wouldn't say two, but I did something. I'm not going to elaborate on it because I have too much respect for this person to say anything. But and I don't even know that this person really knows like I like trouble with this, but because I hadn't talked to him in a long time and I did something that I'm not happy that I did, my brain kind of just like went back to, oh, what if? What
Yeah.
if? What if? So that's where I'm kind of like wallowing right now. So then I'm mad at myself, like, why did I even talk to him? You know, like that kind of thing. But yeah, that's where I am.
I hate that fucking question so because that question is a bitch. What if? Like,
Yeah.
because I asked myself the same shit. Because I told you when we were
Mm-hmm.
having that conversation the other day
Mm-hmm.
how I bumped into my ex last week, and then we started chopping up the small talk. And then in the back of my head, I'm like, damn, just what if? Like,
now,
I hate that shit.
Do you think because the older that we get, the more relationships we have, whatever, the like I wouldn't say like maybe the more baggage we have, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. It's just like we're living life, whatever. But do you think everyone has that one person that they always kind of like go back to and like that should have been my person?
100%.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah. Me too.
If it's not necessarily I should have gone back to them, it goes back to that what if. You always have that one person that because my most recent ex, that's the only ex I have that I go back and I think, damn, what if? Because that was the one that I had the strongest feelings for.
Yeah.
But I definitely think everybody at least has that one person that one what almost like everybody has that one person that they never smashed before that they always wanted to. Everybody always has that one person.
Actually,
I think so.
No. Not me. I have literally fucked everybody that I've wanted to. And I'm proud of that.
Maybe that's just a guy thing.
Like, I want him and it happened.
Well, see, it's different for y'all though.
Yeah. But talking about that, I never chase anybody. But like I said, I'll put a bat signal out. I'll make sure I'm available, make sure you see me. So guys notoriously chase girls, right? And we like that, right? But when do you think is the time that guys need to stop? Because at a certain point, I do believe, now it's different if you guys are both dating and you guys both know that you're dating. Now, and it's different if that person was never interested in you, but you pursued them. And then they're like, okay, I feel those are two different scenarios. But when do you think a guy should stop chasing a female? Not in a toxic way, in a healthy way. Because in a toxic way, I'd be like, well, after you fuck, you fuck. So in a healthy way, when should a guy stop chasing the female? When should the female reciprocate that she likes him?
I think men should definitely stop pursuing a woman. But I can only speak for me. Okay. For me, I will stop when a girl is direct and she just is like, hey, I'm just not interested in that way. Because me, I'm extremely blunt. So I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I hate small talk. So I'm just gonna come out and say, hey, I want to take you out. I like you. I want to get to know you. If she's like, I'm not really feeling it, I'm like, all right, cool. I'll fall back. But what kind of goes hand in hand with that is I hate those guys that they pursue a woman and she turns them down, and then all of a sudden it's, oh, well, you know what, you ugly anyway. You a hoe. I didn't want you no way. I'm like, well, she wasn't ugly when you was trying to get out.
Yeah.
And that just goes back to men don't handle rejection well. Me, the worst thing a woman can say to me is no. That's the worst thing. And I don't take it personally or anything like that. If you're not interested, you're not interested. That's it's all
a waste of time.
Yeah. I'm like,
yeah. So I mean, I feel like there's a certain point where it becomes unhealthy if the guy's always chasing, and it's not right. It really isn't. At a certain point, like you really gotta like, okay, I'm interested, but there's also that healthy level of like pursuing, because it's traditional for a guy to pursue, and if you have that kind of like relationship, then you have to find that borderline. But guys honestly should not keep on chasing the girl. There's like a time to like cut it off and have that discussion. Like, hey, you like me? What are we doing? Are we doing casual? Do you want to, what do you want to do? That kind of thing.
Because I mean, it is kind of easy for me to tell if a girl is genuinely interested or not. I think it's just kind of come with the older I've gotten.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're sitting in there and you're basically having a conversation with yourself in her DMs, she's probably not interested. You should let it go.
One thing I absolutely hate, and I have never dated a guy that's done this. Do not come for me on some sexual shit. Like that, when you first want to talk about sexual stuff, even though like I do the, I do Love and Lust, and my comedy is, funny. When I'm doing it, that's when I'm in the zone. But when I'm off of it, I'm off the platform. I'm not being an entertainer. So guys get that really confused. And that moment that you start saying something really sexual, especially if I've never met you, I'm done. I'm checked out. I might still be nice. I will still be nice because not that many things offend me. And I understand because of things that come out of my mouth, people are like, oh my God. So, but once you cross that line, it's like, okay, I'm not really interested in sexual relationship. And also I'm really hard to get. First of all, it's hard to even get me on a date. Like to even see me and be in my presence, that's really hard because I'm just sitting there like, you're going to disappoint me like everybody else. So why the fuck? I just rather make money. That's where I am in my life right now. Yeah. So, yeah, like it's funny, but I don't understand. And also, this is what irritates me. This is what I want to talk about before I have to let you go. I hate. This is such a good day for me to be on the podcast. I hate this. It's like a fucking wall. When guys post, and I don't think you do this. I should have checked your fucking Instagram before I say this. When guys post like pictures, sexual pictures of cartoon characters or whatever on their Instagram, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I've never done that before.
Are you that horny? Like you can't control yourself? You know how desperate you look? Like it's different from me posting like funny memes, like it's for a laugh, but then talking about like a guy in a girl's ass just like eating her ass, and then you're gonna write mood under it. Okay, weirdo.
Yeah, I don't understand it. There's guys, literally, I always say this, guys will stick their dick in a hole in the wall if it'll get off. Like, and I never understood that. Like, I love my dick too much to just stick it anyway. So I can control myself.
It's like, okay, they post it and they're just trying to like see like a female's like, oh my God, he likes that. Oh my God, let me do that with him. Like that doesn't usually, and if they do that, like it's like, I watched Selena Powell. Is it Selena Powell earlier today? This girl, is it Selena? You know what I'm talking about? The girl, she's like on No Jumper. She like sleeps with celebrities and then talks about it.
Oh yeah.
Is there any? I really hope
I want to say it's Selena Powell.
Okay, yeah, I was watching her earlier today talk about. That girl is funny as hell. She's funny, but yeah, it's like you're gonna attract somebody that's probably a little bit, I don't know, but you ain't tracking a girl like me. I ain't going. That just like grosses me out, and I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing, sir? That's gross. Well, we've had quite the chat today. Yeah. Caught me on a fantastic day. I'm in a great mood.
Same here.
It is, yeah, so I thank you for joining me. It's a good episode.
Appreciate you having me.
This is a good episode.
Definitely appreciate you having me. I hope this was as nasty as you wanted it to be.
Once again, I'm sorry, Mother. I'm sorry. She does watch
I hope my mom ain't listening.
She's gonna watch it and she's gonna tell me. She's gonna because she supports my podcast and it's very encouraging, and it's freedom for me because it allows me to be who I am. Even my father, he knows. I'm like, you raised this. It was funny because I don't know if you saw like one of my stories. I had Hennessy and a straw, and he saw this. He saw the Hennessy and the straw because I walked past him with the Hennessy and the straw, and I was like, he's like, what the hell are you doing? He said it more vulgar because that's where I get my mouth from. And I was like, "You raised this?" He was like, "I didn't raise that shit." The fuck out of here! I didn't raise that. That's what my dad said. That was so funny. But anyhow, we could talk all day, so I gotta let you go. Thank you for joining me. Once again, tell everyone your name, tell them your podcast. Please go ahead and tell us your Instagram handle. Say it out loud. What is it? Just say the just say it for the listeners. Fuck it.
Well, once again, it is your boy, the bad guy, Paul Chambers, one half of the Thundercats, host of the Welcome to Forever podcast on all major streaming platforms and YouTube as well. Mm-hmm. And yeah, get it about.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening, day, whatever we're shooting this. She's on one, guys. And everyone, thank you for listening to Love and Lust. It's a podcast about sex and what else? Relationships. We ain't talking about relationships today. We're talking about the nasty.
There you go.
My name is Anna Lefebvre, and I will see you next Tuesday. Out.